So I'm going to go ahead and start things off with the Jordynne Grace, Roxanne Perez portion, and then we'll get into the Ethan Page stuff. So Roxanne Perez and Jordynne Grace. I say it and it still doesn't even sound real, but here we go. So all that we had known going into this was that Ava had said that today we would be finding out who Roxanne Perez's next opponent was. Now, there are a lot of women on NXT. That is the strongest division on that show. And we all know it. And it was a little bit weird that we didn't really have like a big story for Roxanne Perez. And right now, a lot of the focus has been on that NXT North American women's match. That's where all of the attention has been. All of the women have been involved in that story. And so it kind of felt like Roxanne Perez was sort of left out in the cold just a little bit. There wasn't anything major to discuss regarding Roxanne. And of course, Roxanne is a heel now, but again, once she won the title from Lyra, there really wasn't that much going on with her on the actual programming. So I thought, oh, like, who are they going to announce as her challenger? Like, there really wasn't like a major hint or anybody that they had given us clues about. I actually thought that today we might be seeing Wendy Chu. And the reason I thought it was Wendy Chu is because I thought, okay, if they're making such a big deal about announcing Roxanne Perez's opponent, it's going to be someone that we're waiting on. Okay, who have we been seeing teasers for in the last couple of weeks? Freaking Wendy Chu. Wendy Chu is the person that we've been seeing teasers of the last 2 weeks. So because of that, I thought, oh, maybe it's going to be Wendy Chu. And I was already excited and waiting to see Wendy Chu when all of a sudden we see on the screen Jordynne Grace's name pop up. And I'm thinking, WTF is going on here? Now, this is technically, it was a big surprise for this time and period for today for NXT. However, Jordynne Grace has appeared on WWE television. She was at the Royal Rumble. That was the big thing that happened with Jordynne Grace. She came out in the Rumble. She looked like a zillion bucks. In fact, she even looked like she was on the level of Bianca Belair, Becky Lynch, those women. Like, she looked on that level. If you didn't watch wrestling, if you had no idea who anybody was, you would think Jordynne Grace is one of the top women in WWE if you didn't know any better. And so Jordynne went out and she had a phenomenal appearance on the Royal Rumble. So much so that a lot of people who did not know Jordynne Grace had so much freaking interest in her. I'm not even kidding you. What was it? I think a day after the Rumble, maybe 2 days after the Rumble. I forgot if it was 1 or 2 days after the Rumble. I'm sorry. I did an interview with Jordynne Grace. And that interview is one of my most watched interviews like in the last year, especially virtually, because in-person interviews get so many more views than virtual interviews. This virtual interview that I did with Jordynne Grace got like over 40,000 something views in 24 hours. That is a lot. That is a lot. And so that just kind of goes to show the interest that people had in Jordynne Grace and wanting to know, okay, who is she? Because while I understand that here on my channel, I have a huge community of wrestling fans that consider themselves, I would say, hardcore wrestling fans. And I know this because I see it. And so even though a lot of the hardcore wrestling audience fully knows who Jordynne Grace is, and we know who's in TNA, and we know what's going on, and we know all that stuff, sometimes we forget, hey, there's this huge WWE audience that do not know these people. And so when Jordynne Grace did that Royal Rumble appearance and she wowed all of these people, she definitely had the conversation. She was the conversation. And so I don't know when exactly Jordynne Grace's deal is up with TNA. I don't even know what the details surrounding that are. But so she does the Royal Rumble thing. Cool. Now fast forward to May, the end of May, and she's now going to be challenging for the NXT Women's Championship. So she's going to be going up against Roxanne at Battleground. And basically, this was a very straightforward promo. She just came out and said who she was. She reminded people that she was at the Rumble. She told Roxanne that she liked her as champion, thought she was doing a good job, but so that she was also doing a good job as NXT Women's NXT Knockouts champion. And so she basically said, I want to find out who is the better of us, and I'm coming for your title, and I want to walk out of NXT Battleground as a double champion. So you're looking at this and you're going, holy shit, Roxanne Perez. Roxanne Perez right now, there's a lot to get excited. There's a lot of winners in this. So let's talk about winners right now, because there's a lot of people winning in this scenario. But the number one winner in all of this, my friends, is Jordynne Grace. This woman is, first of all, kicking ass, right? Like, she's doing her thing. She's kicking ass. She's doing her thing. She's Jordynne Grace. She's doing her thing on TNA. She's got a lot of stuff outside of TNA that she does, and she has completely revamped her look in the last couple of years. And now she is getting this promotion with the biggest pro wrestling company while not even being signed with that company. Can we stop and think about how lucky Jordynne Grace is to be in this position where it's like TNA is like, we have this gem that you can use, and Jordynne Grace is that gem that is definitely benefiting and reaping of all of the rewards. And whether, for whatever reasons, whatever political reasons that WWE has to work with TNA, and whatever reasons TNA has to work with WWE, whatever. The point is, Jordynne Grace is winning regardless of whatever background political stuff is going on behind the scenes. Doesn't matter. Jordynne Grace is winning in this scenario. All right. Talk about some good ass luck for Jordynne Grace. Now, that's the biggest winner in this whole thing. I'm going to say the second biggest winner right now is Roxanne Perez. And the reason I say that is because even though Jordynne Grace actually, okay, I'm going into this fully expecting Roxanne Perez to win this match. However, if they all of a sudden did something super crazy where they did have Jordynne Grace win, I would be like, holy shit, dude. Yeah, that would be crazy, right? So because I'm not expecting it to be that crazy, I am expecting Roxanne Perez to successfully defend her NXT Women's Championship. And so think about it. You're going to be successfully defending your title against Jordynne Grace, who is not only a champion in another promotion, looks so great in the Royal Rumble, but also looks the way she does. And let's be real, there is a size discrepancy between Jordynne Grace and Roxanne. But Roxanne, I'm assuming in this match, is going to win through her wrestling prowess, right? Like, she is going to show that. And even here, like, I'm just sitting here and I'm just thinking of like the match that they're going to have, and I legitimately cannot wait. So there you go. That is a huge thing for Roxanne. If she does defeat Jordynne Grace, which I am expecting that to happen, that is going to be a massive person to have underneath your belt, basically saying, hey, I beat this person to defend and keep my NXT Women's Championship. And that not only makes Roxanne look, it just doesn't make Roxanne look good. It makes her look even better. It makes her look like such a strong champion. So what I'm saying is both of these ladies are definitely winning in this scenario. On top of that, TNA, definitely good thing for them too. And I'm going to tell you why I think this is a good thing for TNA as well. Because I know the argument of people are going to be like, oh, well, why would you send your champion to go lose to another champion? That is definitely going to be an argument that some people might make. However, the reason I see this as a win for TNA is, one, you're seeing someone talk about your champion, your performer on this kind of a scale. TNA does not get the same numbers that WWE does. And right now, they definitely need that. They need more attention, more buzz, and whatever buzz they can possibly get, in my opinion, is definitely a positive. Now, also, so far we've only really seen this TNA working relationship with Jordynne Grace, right? Now, how I see this too is, let's say they start to do more of this, right? Like, let's say we start to see some other signed TNA talent come out and do stuff with WWE. Let's just say that happens. Okay, all of a sudden, when there are people trying to, when you see your independent wrestlers try and get signed places, all of a sudden TNA is going to look a lot more favorable because they're going to be like, oh shit, if I want to get noticed by WWE, I don't necessarily have to go to this place. I can now go to TNA and have an opportunity of getting noticed to eventually make it to WWE. Or hell, I can grow my name, become a big star, and shit, have my option of either AEW or WWE or whatever it is that that person so desires. So I see this as a huge win for TNA on those two sides of the argument. And then for WWE NXT, it's just like, well, it's a nice, newsworthy thing, right? You're like, oh, cool, it's Jordynne Grace. And so all of a sudden there's this buzz, and we're sitting here being excited when we're talking about their product. So there you go. It's a win-win-win for everybody across the board here. So that's where we're at with Jordynne Grace and Roxanne Perez, and why this is definitely a good thing.